I'm going to conduct an experiment today. So on a recent video, I used these alcohol inks in UV resin, and the green that I used darkened, which I wasn't happy about because I wanted a nice sea green, and I ended up with it looking as dark as the sky, and it was a beach theme. And a friend of mine, Tina, at Resin with Love, check her out, she's a really good friend. I don't think she mentioned it in the YouTube comments. I think at the time of commenting she didn't know the answer, but then she messaged me on Discord with screen prints from Google. I don't know why I hadn't thought to Google it, but there you go. So thank you, Tina. And basically what that said in a nutshell is intense curing heat can change your colours. Now, coincidentally, I have read this. I just didn't think about it, that these say epoxy resin dye. So anyway, I thought I would do an experiment, and we shall see whether you get different results depending on, because Google said intense heat, whether you would get different results rather than, if I was to use this, putting this straight into my dual lamp, whether just curing it gently from higher up and only from one side at a time would prevent that darkening. So I'm going to do an experiment where I will do, and I've only noticed the problem with green, but I'm going to try it with a couple of colours. I will cure some gently, and I will cure some by putting it straight under the double-sided. But then I'll do some epoxy as well. So stay tuned while I prepare. Okay, I'm switching to voiceover here because I did a lot of rambling. Basically, I've poured roughly equal amounts of UV resin into each cup, added 2 drops of dye to each cup. There's enough resin to do 2 cabochons in each cup, so the blue will be a like-for-like test, the red will be a like-for-like test, and the green will be a like-for-like test. If the ratios are slightly off between the colours, because I've got a tiny bit more resin in one cup than another, there might be a difference, but colour for colour, the test will be exact. I still rambled, didn't I? But it was a quicker ramble because I've still got time to tell you a bit more. Google also said that the problem could have been oversaturating the resin with too many drops. So this isn't a like-for-like comparison of how many drops I put into my resin on the video that I'm referencing. It also could have been a deeper pour. The colours can break down more, especially on a deeper pour, and the video I'm referencing was definitely a deeper pour. So this isn't a comparison to what happened in my previous video. This is just a shallow, quick comparison between the different methods of curing with the same sample. When I come to do the epoxy, that won't be an exact same comparison to the UV, but there will again be 2 epoxy methods of curing, so they will be like for like with each other. Okay, so I want us to be able to differentiate between which one was done with the gentle curing and which was done with the more heavy curing. So I'll do one of these circles with red. I'm not going for the smallest because I want there to be a decent sized item. Before we go any further, let's take a look at the colour of these. Move them out of the way. And let's cure lightly from high up. So I'll just give it about a minute at that height. Okay, it's hard enough. Now I'll do it from above for a minute. So I will pause the camera Okay, that's been cured lightly from the bottom, not the top. I meant the light would be facing up, duh. So I don't want you to see the results yet. So let's go again. But this time I will put my lamp together. Right, I'll do these teardrops and I guess I'll just not fully fill one of these teardrops. So the teardrops will be UV cured more intensely. So they had about a minute each side from far away. So I will put these in for 2 minutes. No, just still about 1 minute. It's getting it from both sides at the same time, isn't it? So 1 minute-ish. So just to show you, it is under the jewel. Right, so I've got some epoxy. Approximately the same amount as UV that I had. So 2 drops of each again. I'll do a square. As long as it's not a circular teardrop, we'll know that it's epoxy. And I won't put these under the into the G3 because I don't want to apply extra heat. Actually, it'd be interesting to do some with G3 as well, because for those people who do have a G3. So if you don't have a G3, you'll know what they'll look like when they're cured. If you do have a G3, you can know what they'll look like when they're cured. So I'll leave them to cure naturally, because I don't know how the heat will affect the cups. I'll demold these and put this in the G3 and leave those to cure without the G3. Okay, so circles, gentle UV. Teardrops, double-sided UV. G3 epoxy, natural cure epoxy. Okay, I'll see you when these are cured.
In a quiet room, late night glow, mixing dreams with resin slow. Some ideas I already know, some scare me half to death, but I still go. Epoxy waves and UV light, trying to get it wrong to get it right. Hands not perfect, that's okay. Every mark is part of the way. I step outside, would feel safe and known. Build something beautiful on my own. If it breaks, I'll show you why. If it works, we'll both fly. I make it with heart, every part. Loving the mess, loving the art. If I say I should have, you'll understand. If I can't fix it, you still learn from my hands. Made with a heart from the start. This is creating with a heart. Some days smooth, some days rough, some days yeah, some days that's enough. But every pour, every try has a reason, has a why. If I find the way it's meant to be, I'll teach you step by step with me. If I don't, at least you'll know what not to do when you go. Comfort zones are made to bend.
So my conclusion is there is no difference with the reds, no notable difference. With the green, there is a notable difference between whether it is cured with UV or whether it is epoxy. The epoxy stays more the colour from the bottle. With UV, it's darkened, but it doesn't matter how intensely you cure the UV, it will darken the same. With the blue, there is no noticeable difference between epoxy and gentle cured UV, but the double-sided curing of the UV has darkened the blue. Please let me know if you have any other tips regarding colour changes of alcohol inks in UV resin. And if you've liked this experiment or learned anything from it, please like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you very much.